work at YouTube to take down disturbing content. After what I saw today, I'm quitting my job for good. YouTube might seem like a friendly platform for kids, but underneath the surface lies thousands of deeply disturbing videos. My job requires me to review these videos to decide whether they should be removed from the platform. I thought I built up an immunity to gruesome content, but that was before I discovered this horrifying video that would ruin my life. A couple days ago, I was assigned to review multiple videos from one channel that had been flagged. The YouTube channel was simply named Marbles. Looking through this channel turned out to be the most horrifying mistake of my life. 4 of their videos had been flagged for harmful, dangerous acts. I reviewed the first one, which was titled Doggy, and everything was going smoothly at first. In the video, someone was filming a dog sleeping in a poorly lit room. They started to walk toward the dog, and then the video ended. I was quite curious why this was flagged and figured I had missed something. I watched it probably about 20 more times, but never saw anything that even remotely resembled a dangerous act. I decided this video could stay on YouTube, but I didn't expect the next videos to scar me for life. The second video I watched was named 6 p.m. Someone was walking through the woods while it was still light outside, meaning I could see everything perfectly. Orange leaves were scattered all around the ground and the trees were bare. I could hear the crunch as the cameraman took each step and the heavy, deep breathing. They only filmed what was in front of them. I was rushing to get some other work done, so I admit I skipped forward in the video for about 20 seconds. What I saw after I did that made my mouth drop. There was a skinny man in a surgical mask in front of the camera now. He had dark hair and eyes like knives. The camera seemed to be on the ground now. The surgical mask man was just standing looking down, almost like he was looking directly into my eyes. After about 10 seconds of staring, the video ended. I rewatched the video to see what I had missed when I skipped it. Not much was different. The cameraman is just walking along, and then suddenly the video cuts to that surgical man. I felt a little uneasy, but decided this was appropriate for YouTube. The next video was called Clouds. The video opens up immediately to the cameraman in what appeared to be the same forest, but this time you can see his lower torso and legs in the shot. He was laying down, filming himself, bleeding. His shirt was damp, and blood was coming out of his body like lava. He placed another hand on the wound on his stomach, wincing as he made contact. The audio was very quiet, but I could hear him crying softly. I was deeply disturbed, so I took the video down. I already had plans to contact the authorities, but I was going to review the last video first. This video was titled Bad Day. The first 3 minutes were just the camera staring at a white wall in a dark room. I could hear some screams in the background from what sounded like kids. After 3 minutes, there was a jump cut, and the man in the surgical mask was standing in front of the wall. His stare was deadly, and it felt like he was staring into my soul. I felt a cold shiver go down my spine. After 1 minute of that, there was another jump cut. What I saw next made me tear up. The man in the surgical mask was now covered in blood, and when I say covered, I mean literally every inch of his body was caked in blood. He seemed to be naked as well, only wearing that disgusting, horrifying surgical mask. His eyes were opened wider now, like he was angry at me, and in his arms he was cradling the dog from the first video, except ... it didn't have a head anymore. Then he rocked it back and forth like a baby. I couldn't even finish the rest of the video. I closed out of it and took down the video. I immediately contacted the police. To their credit, the police were eager to help. They said they could try to track this Marbles person down. They would just need some work from YouTube's end, namely an IP address. I thought it wouldn't be a problem. I went back to the Marbles YouTube channel to get his IP address, but the channel was gone. And I don't mean they deleted the channel, I mean it had completely vanished, like it had never existed. I still had the flagging reports, so I know I'm not crazy, but without the YouTube channel, those were completely useless now. I hadn't saved any of the videos either. Everything was just gone. I figured that he'd be caught eventually, and that this was the end of this crazy thing. I was dead wrong. Yesterday, I was assigned to review another video which had been flagged for spam. Pretty standard stuff, but I felt my life leave my body when I saw the channel name. It was Marbles again. I called for my boss. "What is it?" he asked me. "It's the guy from before ... IT Marbles," I told him. "My God," he said. "Play it." I clicked play. The video was exactly 13 seconds long, and it was just Marbles in a surgical mask staring. He was in front of what appeared to be the same white wall, but the room was better lit now. After 13 seconds, the video had ended. Marbles hadn't really done anything. "Well, that was underwhelming," my boss said. He began to walk away from my desk. "Wait," I called out to him. "Let's get the cops on the line. We can get his IP." "Did you even watch the video? The guy didn't do anything illegal," my boss said. "What are they going to do? Arrest him for standing? Let's try to get some actual evidence before wasting police resources." I became angry. I knew that in time Marbles would upload another incriminating video, and we would get him for that. But that wasn't good enough. I couldn't just allow him to strike again, hurt another innocent life, but only I knew what he was truly capable of. I went home last night and began drinking. I'm not much of a drinker, but I had to get my mind off this whole thing. I'll admit I got pretty wasted and I messed up. I went onto YouTube and I found the Marbles channel. I watched his entire video of the staring again. This time I wasn't scared, I was furious, and then I noticed something. Unlike the videos on his other channel, this one had the comments enabled. I left him a comment. I don't remember what exactly it was, I admit, but something along the lines of "F you, you evil bee," enough to get my point across. I believe I only left one, but it could have been more. I'm not really sure, I just blacked out after that. I woke up this morning and my head has been pounding ever since. I called in sick today. I just couldn't go in after last night. I went to my computer and began going through the internet routine, checking Facebook, email, Reddit, and then finally, YouTube. I had 10 notifications on YouTube. I felt a sick feeling in my stomach as I remembered what I had done last night, but I built up the courage to check them anyway. My comment on the Marbles video had received 10 replies. All of them were from him, and all of them simply said, "You're next." I immediately got up from the computer and ran to my phone. I dialed 911 and frantically yelled at the responder. I told her that I was being threatened on YouTube, and I needed the police to come over right away. She asked who was threatening me, and I said it was the YouTube channel named Marbles. But then, as I kept talking to her, she said she couldn't find it. I went back to my computer and refreshed YouTube, and she was right. The channel had completely disappeared again. I told the 911 operator I worked at YouTube and may still be able to find the channel in our system. I decided I would call the police later on the non-emergency line. I put on some pants, grabbed my keys, and was heading out the door to get to the office. But as I opened my front door, I noticed something. A box on my doormat. It was from Amazon. I didn't want to spend any more time at home, so I grabbed the box and got into my car. I drove to my office and explained to my boss what was going on. We got into the YouTube system and looked for the channel, but just like before, there was no evidence of it actually existing. "What the F?" my boss said. "But we just watched the video yesterday." "I know, god damn it." I slammed my fist on the channel. "Well, it's pretty weird," my boss said, "but nothing to freak out about. Probably just some troll messing with you. I mean, it's the internet, you don't think he's actually coming from you, do you?" I thought about it, and I realized he was right. People make threats online all the time. I had no reason to be stressed. My YouTube account didn't have anything personal on it, so there's no way he could find my docs. I was safe. After I let my boss know I was good, he headed back into his office. I was going to head back home and get a much-needed nap. I got into my car when I remembered that I hadn't even opened the package I got this morning. I thought it was funny because I didn't remember ordering anything. I ripped the box open, and to my surprise, a load of bloody marbles came flying out. They fell into every corner and crevice within my car, and before I could process what happened, I noticed there was actually a note in the box as well. "You're next, Marbles." I started trembling. I went back inside to show my boss the note. I walked to his office, my heart pounding in my chest, and knocked softly on the door. His voice invited me in, and I slowly pushed the door open. What I saw inside his office turned my blood to ice. My boss, the very person I had trusted for years, sat behind his desk wearing the same eerie surgical mask as Marbles. His eyes, cold and devoid of humanity, stared at me with a menacing intensity. I was next.